Gamecast from MSN.
Hi and welcome to the 10th MSN Tech and Gadgets gaming podcast, that is Gamecast. I'm Jane Douglas, your MSN Tech and Gadgets editor, here with Nick, my fellow editor.
Hello.
And Ian Lee, as always.
Yes. Is it really the 10th?
Yes.
Wow, if you got them all together and played them all back to back, that's
a long
that's
podcast.
about 8 hours, something like that, isn't it?
Podcast Megamix.
Is a podcast megamix like the Jive Bunny himself. Well, hello everybody. Let's start as always. What have we been playing this month? Nick, put down that coffee for goodness sakes.
Sorry.
What have you been playing, Nicholas?
What have I been playing? Just recently I've been playing House of the Dead Overkill.
Oh, now, I'm a big House of the Dead fan, and I was reading a review of this. Is this any good?
Yeah, it's ace.
Yeah?
Really, really good. It's House of the Dead gameplay, but they've done a whole spin on it and done it really tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
So it just it rips out of all the previous House of the Dead games, which always had kind of flimsy plots, didn't they? And
Oh, flimsy plot and the worst acting
Exactly.
ever, just terrible, but great for it. You know, they're fantastic games.
Well, this turns all that on its head because it's really it's got this kind of buddy cop angle going on, and really good, funny acting going on all the way through it. Really over the top, very violent.
Lots of bad language, I believe.
Lots of bad language,
Naughty.
yes, and lots of naughty things going on all over the place, but lots of fun too.
That's on the Wii, is it?
Yes.
And I'm assuming do you point the thing like a gun?
Yeah.
Okay, because
it's compatible with that Zapper thing.
I've not got the Zapper thing yet.
No, I mean,
because I'm a big fan of of 1 and 2, but I've got them on the Dreamcast, and I remember digging out my Dreamcast when I bought my new plasma TV. I thought, House of the Dead, and I had a gun, but it didn't seem to work, so I bought another gun off eBay. That didn't work. Of course, you can't use those old guns on the plasma. You say that as though you both knew that as though it was an obvious fact. I didn't realise.
Right.
Anyone ever played Typing of the Dead?
Yes.
Is that
awesome.
wonderful?
Yeah, that's where I learned to type, I think.
Well done. They have that in Japanese arcades still, you know,
Really?
and you'll see two kids sat next to each other just furiously typing away, trying to beat it. Jane, what have you been playing this month?
I finished Fear 2. Did you play Fear 1? Anyone? No.
Oh, I did play Fear,
Yeah,
yes.
with the little girl, the creepy little girl, and it's a first-person shooter,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a survival horror, or at least it's kind of spooky anyway. And it's really good. It's really good. It's out soon, and I enjoyed it a lot. It got some really rubbish reviews.
Right.
I think Eurogamer gave it 5 or something, and I don't know why. It's not doing anything dramatically different, but it's kind of scary and kind of good fun, and shooting's good.
Is it? Now, I played Fear all the way through.
Yes.
But I found it very linear. I found it slightly dull and quite easy, but I just found it was at a time when I thought, I've not completed a game for a long time. I know I can obviously complete this, so I'm going to do it. Does it deviate at all from the original Fear? Is it better?
I didn't actually finish the first one, so
Okay.
I couldn't say, with authority. But it is still pretty easy. I don't think it's that difficult a game. You've got this kind of like time slowdown power,
Oh, man.
which does tend to make it's fun, but it doesn't make for like really, really tough firefights.
Yeah, well, I think that may have been in the first. Was that in the first one? There was something in the first one where you
can't
could
remember, to be honest.
bend time
Right,
or
right.
something. I finished it, and the ending was rubbish. If I remember correctly, you jumped in a helicopter. Ooh, yeah, we're saved, brilliant. Then you see a hand come up, and then that's the game over. And you think, well, I've just spent a week
Yeah.
wasting my life.
The end of
on-
the second one is, without giving anything away, is a little bit like that as well.
Oh, we should. We've got a topic to talk about next month, but maybe we should throw that in the mix as well for next month and put this on the forum. Week endings to games, where you've dedicated
Yeah.
a long part of your life to completing a game, and then you see it. It's like, is that it? On the old games, unlike Commodore and Spectrum, would say, "Well done, now try it again, but faster," and then everything would be moving at twice the speed. You think, "Stuff this! I'm having none of it."
Yeah, definitely.
But Fear 2, you'd give it the thumbs up.
I'd say have a go. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I've been very predictable this month. I've been playing Left 4 Dead. I can't
Yay.
stop playing it. What I've done now, and what I've started this week, is on expert level. So I've been playing it on normal, skipped advanced, not interested in that, gone straight to the expert level, and it's just insane, but sexy. It's sexy.
Have you completed
insane.
a scenario? Because you get an achievement or something, don't
Yeah,
you?
you do. No, I've not. A friend of mine,
right.
Geeky Tom, was playing it with his friends. He's the one that's been egging me on to do an expert. And they were on the roof of the hospital. The helicopter came. Tom was running for the helicopter. His mate shot him in the back, so he didn't get the achievement. That's terrible, isn't it?
That is so wrong.
That's so naughty. And also, I've been playing a lot of Guitar Hero. And I know Guitar Hero and Rock Band are dirty words on this podcast, and a lot of people say, please don't mention it, because we don't get sent free kit like you do. But Guitar Hero, me and my girlfriend, her on the drums, which I don't really like playing the drums. I thought I would. So I'm doing all the guitar stuff. She's doing the drums. She keeps saying, do you want to go on the drums? I'm like, no, I'm all right, thanks. But there's nothing more joyous than playing along to Band on the Run with your girlfriend and rock it. It's the best thing ever. Yeah. But the thing is, you think it's kind of a cooperative game, but we can't talk to each other. We're both concentrating so much on what we're doing that there is no communication at all between either of us. It's just, you're right, yeah, go on. So, but I will try and play something. I keep meaning to dig out End War and have a go on that, so maybe I should do that this month, just to say something slightly different.
Well, just recently, I mean, on Left 4 Dead, they announced some downloadable content, but it's a little bit disappointing because it's not like new levels or new weapons.
I've not seen this.
It's a new mode called Survivor Mode, so it's going to be just like a different kind of way to play the same stuff, and they're making the other remaining levels into multiplayer, when you can play on the zombie side or the survivor side. They're going to make all of the scenarios,
Are they not? Because I've only ever tried that once, playing as a zombie, and it was rubbish. Because you just get shot really quickly, and you're not like a special zombie with special powers.
I think you can be, though, can't you? I'm sure you can spawn as like a boomer or a...
You can do that, yeah. You can be a smoker and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know you could be a smoker. I might have another go. But if you're just Joe Blow zombie, then it's no good, because you just get shot in the head really quickly.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, I will have another little look at that then. OK, well, listen. Hey, it's exciting news in the world of computer games, because on March the 10th, the Computer Game BAFTAs are happening. Now, this is actually now quite a proper serious thing. I remember it happening a few years ago, and it being kind of small and a bit low-key, and... then there was one, was it 2 years ago, when Vernon Kay was hosting it? I presented an award for that. Cut that bit out of the telly, never mind. But it was really, it was a weird show. And this year they've got Dara O'Brien, the Irish fella, if you didn't guess from his name, hosting it. And I've spoken to him, and he's a proper gamer as well. So it's good that it's proper gamers going on and being able to make gaming jokes about it. But now this is the thing, and I emailed you all about this, and Nick, you raised something very interesting. Call of Duty 4... is up for 9 awards. But hang on, Call of Duty 4 was released in about 1986 or something, wasn't it? It was years ago.
I looked this up, and they've got their eligibility here, and it says...
There's a weird rule, isn't there, that allows it to be in?
It's, any game is eligible so long as it has been or will be released between 26 October 2007 and 31st of December 2008, so I guess it just slips in there. So eligibility period.
I'm not having that.
When was the last... excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. When was the last... We don't know the date of the last BAFTAs, then, because that might... It must have been over a year ago.
I think they moved them forward. I think they are normally late in the year. Because I remember the Golden Joysticks last year.
Yeah.
And there was something about the BAFTAs being put forward. So maybe that's why these old games, relatively old games...
You're proper angry about it, Nick, aren't you?
Oh, I just think it's stupid.
He's literally rubbing his chin as he says that.
Yeah. In an angry way. I don't understand it, because if they do it like this every year, there'll be overlap, won't there?
Yeah.
If they always go back 3 months into the previous year... if they do that for the next awards ceremony, we'll be getting all the same games that are listed
I'm assuming that this will be a one-off.
This is a one-off.
This is now resetting the clock. I'm hoping it is. Otherwise, you're right. It makes a blooming mockery. We're sounding like grumpy old men. It makes a mockery of the BAFTAs. But I'm assuming this resets it, and from now on, it's every game. In the next 12 months.
Yeah. There's a lot that I don't understand about it, though. We've got this Game of the Year award.
Oh yeah, go on.
But then you go a bit further down, you've got Best Game Award.
Game of the Year is the one that's popular choice you can vote for. The rest are chosen by the judges.
Is Game of the Year not a reference to the shop game?
Yes,
it is it?
It's
okay. And that's a public vote.
Yes.
People, I don't know, go onto their internets and key in a code.
There's a link from
the blog. That's
go and have a look.
Isn't it? So, so what Game of the Year? What are the best game? Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Fable 2, Fallout 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, Rock Band, and Super Mario Galaxy. Now, I've not played a lot of them, I'll be honest. Call of Duty 4 is fantastic, but we're not 100% sure that it should legally be in there. Fable 2, I'm not... Jane, you love all these running around slashing and hacking and...
I think I was a bit disillusioned with it by the end, actually. So
by the end, did you complete it?
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did.
You're good at completing games. I don't. Is this a girl's thing? I'm going to generalise slightly, But I'm quite rubbish at completing games. I'll play a game for a while and go, I've had enough of that, let's move on to something else. Are you the same, Nick?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mentioned Fear. I completed Fear because it was easy. I completed Call of Duty 4, actually, because I felt I ought to. But I don't really... I get to a point and think, but now there's a new game. Or there's something more shiny and sparkly over there. I'll play that.
Gaming magpie.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And so you complete
I
them,
tend to play one game, complete it, and then start on another one. I don't know why that
respect you
is.
for that.
Oh, thank you.
Respect
Thank you.
Fallout... Now, which one's Fallout 3?
It's the one that came out, November, December?
Yeah. Role-playing, free roaming game.
Post-apocalyptic
lots of shooting.
RPG.
Oh, is this the one where you start off underground?
Yes.
Rubbish. Absolute
I
tosh.
saw that you'd started it, actually.
I started
You've got,
I finished
two
it.
achievements.
Yeah,
or
started it and I
something.
finished it. Oh, it's your 9th birthday. Well
You didn't
done.
get above ground then?
I got above ground. I thought I'm going to stick this out because I read a review that said, I know. I tell you what, a young fella gave it to a bloke called Sam. This was wonderful. This is, I was standing waiting for a taxi, and a guy called Sam from the company that made it ran out. It said, Ian, have this, play it. Give it 2 hours. The first 2 hours are quite dry. Give it 2 hours. So I gave it about 2 hours. I got outside. I thought, right, we're outside, free roaming. This is going to be wonderful. It's a bit boring. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm running around. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting shot at.
But you like adventure games, though. We were talking last month about stuff like Monkey Island. It's Monkey Island, but it's that kind of thing that it draws you in. It's got so much going on all over the place. Give it another 2 hours on top of that.
We
Come
promise.
on.
Well, there's that thing where you've got your thing on your wrist,
Pip-Boy,
and you've
yeah.
got to press that. I got bored sorting through it. I just want a gun. Just give me a gun. Your gun is broken. You need to fix it with bits
Oh,
of
yeah,
other
that's a
guns.
bit of a pain.
Get stuff, do I? Just give me a gun that works, for goodness sakes. It looked stunning.
Yes.
Was very boring.
Did you play Oblivion?
Yeah, and as soon as I booted it up, I realised
Yeah.
it's the same people.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's got the same, and Oblivion looked wonderful, looked fantastic, and it sounds fantastic, but it's soulless, man. It's boring. I remember seeing. Do you ever see Castlevania? They did a review of it where the guy's playing it and he's going, I'm playing Oblivion, it's rubbish. But it can't be rubbish because it's Oblivion, it's meant to be brilliant, but it's rubbish. And I felt the Emperor's New Clothes, totally.
Yeah, it's real love it or hate it
Yeah.
material, I think, because those games draw me in completely.
You love it, do you? Okay, well, that'll get them effing and jeffing on the forum.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we looking at? Best game. So Fallout 3, not good. Grand Theft Auto 4, again, I think Emperor's New Clothes. It's a technical achievement and it's stunning, but the gameplay is just a little bit empty. You were never a fan of this, were you, Jane?
I didn't mind it. I don't think I fell for the hype as much as some, perhaps. And so I don't feel like I was taken for a ride or anything. I think it was a solid game, but I guess there's probably some people out there a little disillusioned with it at this point.
I fell for the hype utterly.
Yeah.
I got very, very excited about it, and I was very excited about it when I first started playing it as well.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was
definitely.
Maybe the opposite of Fallout 3. Your experience of that, the first 2 hours were brilliant.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was kind of like, is this it? And I've gone on and on about all the stuff about having to make friends and play pool and stuff like that, and all of those sort of things really took away from the core game.
I fell for the hype totally to the point where I bought it in a shop and they were doing people left, right and centre. Yeah, you can only buy it if you buy this book with it for 16 quid.
Right.
Like, I walked through and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. What an idiot. So totally sucked in. Disappointing. Rock Band. Now, I've not really played the Rock Band. I'm a Guitar Hero man. Nick, this is your
I've
territory.
played a lot of Rock Band, but going by the weird dates we've got for this, why is it not Rock Band 2? Because that's better.
You're furious about it. I don't know if you can feel this at home listening on your
White hot rage.
or your PCs. But Nicholas, I've never seen it. I'm having to back off. The anger is incredible.
It's a good point, though. Rock Band 2,
just
why
a
not?
query,
I'm not. I guess.
I'm on your side, fella. Totally, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Rock Band, fair enough, definitely. Having said that, we should probably compare and contrast Guitar Hero and Rock Band at some point, because I haven't played Guitar Hero very much.
What we need, listen, we need to sort this out, and I keep banging on about it. You keep on the podcast promising it, then when we get off air, you deny all knowledge of me. Let us come round to your house. I will bring Guitar Hero, or you can come round to my house. I don't mind, come on, be my friend, Nick. I want to hang out with you, and you, Jane. But Nick's cooler, if I'm completely honest. We can all hang out. Even producer Alex can come, and let's all hang out and have a Guitar Hero versus Rock Band rock off.
I'm up for that. We can have a massive Battle of the Bands thing going on.
Like podcast on tour. We should record it, you know.
We should record it. We should record it. And Super Mario Galaxy. I missed out on Super Mario Galaxy. Apparently fantastic.
It's good. It is good.
Didn't that also come out like 6 years ago?
You don't like recording these first thing in the morning, do you? There's a grumpy side. Yeah. Okay, well, out of those, what do we think? I mean, I would probably have to say Call of Duty 4. I would imagine it might go to Grand Theft Auto 4.
I don't know. We're actually looking at best game, so that's not the popular vote one. That's the
this is
one,
done by judges, people who know what.
It's a bit trickier to call it, really.
Yeah, I reckon if they're doing it with proper judges, they'll go for Fallout 3. I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
just because it's a slightly unusual choice.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a quick look. Oh, here we go. Nolan Bushnell is going to receive a fellowship. Do you know who Nolan Bushnell is, Jane?
No.
Get out. Get out of here now. Nicholas, you for 5 points.
He wrote Pong.
Oh, for goodness sake, he didn't write Pong. I believe. Who is it wrote Pong? 'Cause I've been to his house and played on his original Pong. Was it Al Alcorn who wrote Pong? Pong.
What?
There's a Freudian slip if ever there was one. No, well, he came up with the idea. Nolan Bushnell created Atari. He's the reason we're sat here.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Mr. Atari,
Right.
for goodness sakes. Well done him for getting a fellowship. I don't know what a fellowship is, actually. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
A lifetime achievement award, I guess.
Yes. Well, no, I've interviewed him, and he's just a delightful, wonderful man. Okay, let's. What category should we have a look at? There are a lot of the same games pop up: action and adventure, Call of Duty 4, Dead Space, Fable 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Prince of Persia, Tomb Raider Underworld. Didn't that get slated? Tomb Raider Underworld, I thought.
A bit.
It just got sort of meh, I think, from everyone.
A big meh.
Yeah. Didn't really get slated, didn't really get embraced, but I don't think anyone bought it. Well, some people bought it, but not many.
Dead Space. Now, you've both played this, haven't you, the Dead Space?
Yes.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
I'm about to hear
No,
not such good things about it.
It's solid, it didn't set the world on fire. It didn't set my world on fire. But it's kind of scary, which is good. But it's kind of in genre, like it's a solid... I think it wanted to be more than that, and I think it wasn't in the end. It looks good. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know.
So what do we think it's going to be then? Action adventure? I would say Call of Duty 4. I mean, it does feel weird talking about a game that was released 15, 16 months ago, but it's a brilliant game. There's no denying it. It looks stunning, plays fantastically, kept me captivated till the end.
It doesn't really fit in the category though, action and adventure. I mean,
Well, action.
It's got
There's action in it,
but
and you have adventures, but I see what you
not
mean.
what I would describe as an action adventure game.
Yeah.
I would definitely pick it as a winner out of those 6 because it's easy to say, it shouldn't be there because it's so old now, but it's still an awesome game.
Call of Duty 5, I don't think it's been nominated. It's not any of the big ones.
No.
Is it World of Warfare?
World at War, yeah.
World at War. I've not played that. I've got too busy playing Left 4 Dead. What else are there? Let's just quickly rattle through some of these. Gameplay. Call of Duty 4. It's all the same ones. Oh, here we go. Call of Duty 4. Grand Theft Auto 4. Left 4 Dead. Get in there. Mario Kart Wii. Rock Band. Super Mario Galaxy. Left 4 Dead wins it. Hands down.
Agreed.
Easily.
Weird category though, isn't it? Gameplay. And then just chucking 6 totally different games together like that.
Because that could literally include any game. That's the most generic.
All games have some gameplay.
You would hope so, yes. You would definitely hope so. Otherwise, they're not good. I'd say Left 4 Dead, Nick.
Yeah, fair enough. Out of those,
All right.
Left 4 Dead, or maybe Call of Duty again.
The thing, Jane, what do you think?
I think Left 4 Dead gameplay.
I think for gameplay, because it has got that thing. You can just pick it up. You can play a whole game through. You can join a game that's already started. You can have a few rounds on your own. Whereas Call of Duty 4, you sort of you have to commit to a bit more.
Well,
I think.
I do have in mind the online side of COD 4 really for that, because that was also just jumping in, play for 10 minutes,
absolutely right.
and no other game has got me sort of hooked online as much as Call of Duty 4.
Okay, I will give you that one, sir. Well done. Calm down. Story and character: Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty 4,
Again.
Fable 2, Fallout 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, Mass Effect. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's about the same time as Assassin's Creed, I think.
Did you complete Mass Effect?
Oh, yeah.
Every time you tell me you completed a game, I get a little bit more respect. And I respect you a lot.
Oh, good.
I get a little bit more respect for you. Mass Effect, again, I couldn't stand it.
I loved it. I really loved it. I like sci-fi. I like RPGs. Especially, I kind of like Western RPGs, I suppose, more than the Japanese style ones. And, so it ticked all the boxes for me. I know it had problems, but no, I thought it was awesome.
I like the idea of it. I just don't like those things. What are you going to do? Say, yes, sir, I'll do that. Ignore him or tell him to get lost. Does it going to make any difference to the game?
Yeah.
No, I'll just press a button, just get me through it quickly. Yeah. I find that kind of tedious, but you enjoy that.
I did. I think we talked about this before, actually, and it's more the illusion of choice, because whatever you answer, you pretty much end up doing the same sort of things. I like, because, most games give you the choice to be good or evil. I think in Mass Effect, it's generally like good or racist, like alien racist. That's pretty much how you're evil. If you're like kind of ruthless and alien racist.
How did you play it, Jane?
I played it good.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Because I find in most of these RPGs where they offer you the good evil choices, the evil ones are just like nonsense.
Yeah.
I can appreciate being evil for personal gain, but just being evil for no apparent reason, I can't play
This is the thing with Fallout 3, and I tried being a bit bad to my dad. I was dissing my dad. I was starting a fight with a bully, grassed him up to his dad. Nothing happened, it just made the game go a little bit slower, it just...
You can blow up a whole town with a nuclear bomb.
That's pretty evil.
Whoa. This is Fallout 3, the game I've been dissing for the last 20 minutes. Yes. That sounds very exciting.
A mysterious stranger approaches you in a bar and
Yeah.
offers you the chance to boom it. So, if you want to make Fallout 3 a bit more enticing.
Oh, I'll give it another... How much more have I got to play before that bloke comes up to me?
It's really quick. You just got to go to the Megaton.
All right.
Megaton, go there.
Did you do that? Did you?
No, I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't. I've got this. I don't know. I've got this
real people
ridiculous morality in my head when it comes to the games. I still can't get over it. Like I can't kill nice people, nice characters in games. So I just think, they're nice. But I don't know. If I do, I feel bad.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
Right.
Anyway, so that's the video game BAFTAs. We're not. I don't think it is being televised this year. It did make the Vernon Kay one. Some bits were really good. Some bits were quite dull. And it's that thing of televising video games, and no one knows how to do it, and TV companies are always afraid of doing it. It would be great if they did get a good hour-long proper award ceremony out of it, and but I don't think they're going to do it, so it's their loss. Okay, a few other bits and pieces that I thought would be nice to mention. I was reading that Wii Fit has topped the Wii charts for 6 weeks in a row. 6 weeks in a row. I still can't get my head around what the point of it is. Is it actually meant to keep you fit? Like, properly fit?
I think, it's pretty gentle. I don't think you'd, lose weight or put on muscle or anything like that, but it's a bit like doing yoga. Well, there's some yoga and there's jogging on the spot, but I think you'd probably do better going out for an actual jog.
It's being sold as something that can help you lose weight because it measures your weight when you start it.
Right.
And then you choose...
So you have to do it naked, do you?
Well, that's personal choice.
Okay.
But
I choose to.
Yeah, it's
suddenly it's becoming a lot more interesting to me. Nudie Wii Fit.
I think the hula hooping game would become particularly interesting.
What a horrible image. I do apologise for that. You bought it for your girlfriend, didn't you?
I did, yeah, for Christmas.
And is she, a few weeks down, months down or so down the line, is she still enjoying it, or has the novelty wore off?
She does really, really like it, but I suspect the novelty is starting to wear off a little. But yeah,
and is she doing the fitness games on it, or is she doing?
And she's doing all of them because she wanted it mainly for the yoga stuff first of all, but then she's got into the fitness games because they're a bit more fun and a bit more interactive.
How can you do yoga on it? I'll let you into a secret, kids. I go to yoga sometimes on a Saturday morning. If I wake up and feel bothered, I say to my girlfriend, "Should we go to yoga?" If it gets the thumbs up, we go and do it. And imagine me, a 35-year-old, unfit, lanky man, doing the praying tree, eagle in a tree or whatever it is. It's as ridiculous as you'd imagine. I don't do it naked. But how can you do yoga on you need like loads of room and stuff to do yoga.
Yeah, well you can do it just with it's a lot of the balance ones.
You can hear a shuffling. That's Nick trying to do it.
That doesn't come across, does it?
It doesn't come across. But it's
there's like, there's the standing positions, where you kind of
okay,
do
so
prayer.
look at that, you do all that.
Yeah,
I'm doing a yoga position now. Thank you.
He is. And there's ones that you will have just like one hand on the board and like be balancing on the board, that kind of thing. But I don't think you can do the whole repertoire.
And what games? There's a skiing game.
Yeah, there's stuff like, there's one where you have to head footballs, so it detects the shifts in your weight, and like the balls are coming over like that, and you're heading them away. And I'm doing
I love it. We're going to. I tell you what, next time we're going to take pictures of Nick acting these things out for you and put them on the website. But so is it? I mean, I just don't. I'm a big fan of different kinds of controllers. I remember when Samba de Amigo came out on the Dreamcast. I spent the 90 quid or 100 quid, whatever it was, buying the maracas because I'm a big fan of that Sega bass fishing. I bought the rod, but this is just not captured my imagination.
No,
I'm
well,
guessing
fair enough. But
perhaps it's not meant to.
They'll use it for more games, and there was that snowboarding game that came out last year. So you turn the board around, face forward, and then it's like a snowboard, which is a nice idea. I didn't actually try it
think that's cool.
I remember them they brought out a snowboard periphery for the PS2 years ago, and it was bobbins.
Wasn't it massive as
it
well?
It was huge. It weighed about a ton.
Yeah.
And I think all it did, I may be doing it at great disservice here, so apologies if I am, is that you would sort of lean, and underneath it had like a button, so it was like pressing the X button on your controller, or whatever, is that kind of technology that didn't really. But okay, so we'll keep us updated on your girlfriend and whether she's getting the Wii Fit board out less and less, and now you said, sorry, going slightly off topic. You mentioned in your email a game that I have been looking at and have very nearly bought, and I haven't bought a DS game for a long time. I'm completely off on a tangent. The Millionaire.
Oh yeah, Mystery Case Files.
Case Files Millionaire.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
It's fairly random. I've never played one of this series before, but apparently they started on the PC.
Right.
I can't imagine playing on a PC because most of what you do is look at the screen and you're looking for objects that are hidden in very busy backgrounds.
Right.
So you're just looking at a static background and you've got to find a telephone and a cigar or something like this. And so on the DS, you just sort of scroll around the screen using your stylus and then pick them out like that. It's one of those games that to describe sounds deathly dull, but it's kind of involving. It's kind of interesting.
What's the full name of it again?
Mystery Case Files Millionaire.
But millionaire is spelt as in heir to the throne, so it's clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
I think I saw an advert for it on the telly.
Oh yeah.
Would I have done? Yes, I've seen an advert for it somewhere. And yeah, it is just looking around and there's a key. Ding.
Yeah.
And when you say it does sound ridiculously boring, but it looked really good.
Yeah, it's all right. But it's one for the people that got a DS for brain training.
Yeah.
Liked Professor Layton and those sort of games. It's lots of little puzzles. It's mainly this picking stuff out, but in between you get little sort of slidey puzzles. Slide the tiles about. And other similar stuff. So yeah, it's all right. It's got a little storyline in the background as well, which is kind of entertaining. So okay, passes the time. It's not going to win the BAFTAs.
Now listen, as you've been having a whinge today, and I like it. I like Nick's whinges. You were very upset in your email about games that require the microphone on the DS.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to do that in the Millionaire game.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it has this thing called a magic straw.
Don't never go near the magic straw, for goodness sakes.
Well, no, yeah, you've got to be careful with it. But it's you use it in various situations to blow on stuff. There's various dynamics in the game where you can have like an X-ray machine that makes it easier to find stuff. Or you can have this straw if you need to like blow dust off something or whatever. So the idea is the magic straw, you blow into the microphone. And I play my DS on the train. I don't want to be sat there blowing at this object in my hands because, I might get arrested or at least some funny looks.
So
I played The World Ends With You on the DS, and it's got a lot of fighting in it. It's kind of a fighting game-ish. And one of the powers you get these kind of psi powers, and one of them involves shouting at the DS to do damage to the enemy. So you would just shout, any noise, but just shouting into the microphone. I just didn't use that power. Ever.
I couldn't do that. That would be even at home on my own. I'd feel embarrassed doing that.
So I've come up with a cunning technique to get around the blowing one, but I don't think it would work with shouting.
I don't know if you want to hear this. Go on, what is it?
If you tap the microphone like hard enough, it thinks you're blowing on it. So you can just do that instead. So top tip.
There's a handy tip for anybody embarrassed to blow on their DS. Shall we have a look at the forum? Is there anything in the forum that's been very quiet on the forum this month? I don't know why.
A little bit. I think because we haven't been that chatty ourselves, we haven't been asking people to talk about stuff, so we will do that.
We've thrown something out today, haven't we? Oh, yes, game endings, the most disappointing game endings.
Disappointing game endings. And also, Ian suggested best cutscenes, intro videos, FMVs from games.
Yes,
so
I thought
best
that would be
and worst.
good. If you can suggest those, best and worst. I tell you where that came from. Again, and I'm going to try, next month's podcast, I'm going to try not to mention Left 4 Dead at all, okay? Because it sounds like I'm doing some sponsorship deal. I'm genuinely not. So I won't mention it at all next week. But the opening scene of Left 4 Dead, my girlfriend was watching it. I was about to skip it. She went, no, let's see this. And it is fantastic. It's proper scary, bleak. The ending where they're on top of the building and the camera pulls away and there's just thousands of zombies around them. It's like a proper bleak zombie film. I thought it was wonderful. So your suggestions on that, please, on the forum. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to give the address because otherwise people don't seem to wander in. It's tech.uk.msn.com. Just click on message board and we'll start up a message board for the podcast.
And if they download this podcast from the MSN site, there's a button as well, isn't it, that says come and talk about.
Yeah, discuss the podcast. You can click on that as well. Come to podcast, click discuss the podcast. It'd be great. Yeah, so kind of a slim feedback this month, but Superhand says, nice podcast. What about Godfather 2? I got a PS3 for Christmas. Is it worth opening Resistance to, or should I just stick it on eBay?
I've not played Godfather. I played the first Godfather game on the Wii. It was alright, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't get that far in it, but it was alright. Godfather 2 I've not seen. Although last weekend...
It's not out yet, is it, Nick? I think
No,
it's not for a while.
Coming out on 27th, off the top of my head, I think.
February?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that even a Friday, I think?
Harry Ken says, check out the Masters Challenge on Left 4 Dead on YouTube. It's hilarious. I confess I haven't looked yet. So I'm not sure what this is.
Yes, I will check that out. I saw that last night, his post there. I will check that out. Okay. Very vague.
Okay, John has some criticisms, which are all fair. Here's a thought. Fix your URL so the podcast links actually link to the podcast RSS feed. Fix your entries in the iTunes store. You may not like it, but that's where most people subscribe from. Both these
Come
problems...
on, Jane. Come on. Explain
It's not my fault, but I will explain.
I got Twitter. I've joined Twitter for the first time this week. I'm Iain Lee, one word if you want to follow me. And I thought, I've got a way to communicate with everyone very quickly. I know. I'll tell them that there's this podcast, this Gamecast, is up. So I told everyone. Within minutes, I'm getting messages going, it don't work. It don't work on the MSN website. Don't work on iTunes. What's going on? Sort it out.
We are sorry about that. They both the problems stem from a single problem, so it's just one mistake, and it's being fixed.
Good.
It is.
But people, if they've been subscribing on iTunes before, will probably have to resubscribe. Is that?
We will. I don't think they will actually,
okay.
But we'll put something out when it's fixed.
Okay, and I will Twitter when this is up and running as well.
Thank you.
So you
Excellent.
You will know.
Okay, Thomas 2500 says, what about downloadable Commodore 64 games? The C64 was my first ever console, and some of the games were so amazing I wouldn't mind paying a little money to play them again.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not been more. There's kind of a few retro games from that era with things like Jetpack and I'm not sure what's on Sony, the PlayStation Online. There are a few, but it would be great if a company, if Microsoft or Sony just said, okay, here's 8 Commodore games for a £5, or for a £10 or something like that. His 10 Commodore, 10 Spectrum, 10 BBC. Well, it would be wonderful. I'm surprised they haven't done more of that. Well, you can play them on PCs and stuff like that. And I've got the original machines, if I'm completely honest. But it would be nice to be able to play a bit of, I don't know, Killer Gorilla or Joust, the Commodore version, on my Xbox. It would be wonderful.
Something about Blu-ray from Thomas 2500.
Oh, come on,
again.
let's have it.
Blu-ray, a dying format. Every time I go shopping in the city centre, Blu-ray seems to be taking up more and more space in the shops. If it wasn't selling, they wouldn't really be stocking
they're just
it.
trying to get rid of all their stock they've got, so they're putting it all out. And once that's gone, that'll be it.
Time will tell.
You put the paper down, Jane. And where's the one? It's not highlighted on here. Where is it? Have you got it, Nick?
Yeah, I've got it here from I Heart Jane from Gamecast.
That's actually their tag, is it?
It really is, yeah.
Go on, let's have it.
He says, so I've listened to it, it's awesome, nothing to add. But, by the way, Jane has the loveliest voice ever.
Jane, I want to have your babies. No,
I'm no doctor, but I don't know how that's going to work.
So let's just get this straight. A few months ago, Nick people saying your voice was sexy. That seems to have died down a bit now, which is good. Jane, that there are weirdos out there that think you've got the loveliest voice ever.
Thank you, by the way.
No one's paid a compliment about my voice, so if you could do that on the...
It's tech.uk.msn.com. Please come to the message boards and tell Ian how lovely his voice is.
A little bit desperate, maybe.
Bit needy.
Never mind. Right, okay, so yes, also go to the message boards. This is what we're asking for next month. We'll talk about the best cut scenes and the best opening scenes, or the worst that you've ever seen.
Most disappointing endings
and
to
the
games,
most disappointing
definitely.
endings to games, where you've dedicated your life and you've worshipped this game and you've got to the end and it's like, is that it? And it can be on any format. It can be on 360, PS3, Commodore, Spectrum, whatever. Just let us know what that is. Thank you.
Great, okay.
Gamecast from MSN.